Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bagadon at Stock Market Caddy, and we are punching up. We were busy with Frederick in Q School this morning. So this week has been a rough, volatile week for our account. Not happy about it. Um, I should have done better. Whoops. Hold on a moment. Sorry about that. I was getting some feedback. Let me see as well. Um, we want to improve. I don't know if I can do this. Here, the output on audio. Let's see if I can do this. Mm-hmm. Sample rate. Um, let's see. Audio track. We're going to try to improve the sound quality. I don't. Audio. Audio bit rate. Yeah, I don't think I can change it now, but maybe later. I think it's okay. I think it's supposed to be okay. All right, we'll double check with YouTube. So in any case, we have had a very oops, hold on. Okay, all right. In any case, our account has been one of the most volatile weeks for us at an account level that we've had in some time, and I'll take the onus on that. Susan's none too pleased, but I tried to get us in position a little early, a little too early. And we're still now, we do not have, those are micros up there. I actually have six of them up there. Not going to put on any more. We're well within our margin requirements, right? So I don't like the fact of where we started. I don't like the fact of where we are. Um, I'm not suggesting anyone mimic these trades, right? Don't mimic. Not here to mimic trades. It's not what we're doing, right? But we are trying to give you a view and where we think we be. Um, we had a beautiful run. Let's put the Nasdaq into a daily view, and we're going to do this here. And here is the daily. All right, so we're pushing at 80. It could go higher on me, right? And so I may not be able to stay with it with this much leverage. May not. I really need this guy to come back. I think that on a daily basis, that the S&P is doing the same thing in the same position. Let me just show you where we be here. S&P's at 80. The VIX is, let's go get a gander. Let's see if this has changed at all. And it is at 40, right? And our view, the VIX is telling us that the markets should be at 60 if they were proportionate. They're too rich for right here, right now. That's what we think. So I need these markets to come back in. When they come back in, hopefully I need to get the account rebalanced. I may not get it all back, this week. May have to dig this thing out. We talk about this with our members all the time, and as traders. Things will happen, right? For whatever reasons, we won't. We're not gonna. I had a pebble in my shoe. Um, when you suffer a draw in your account, you must have the inner confidence, the skill set to be able to dig it out at that point, and to stay within yourself. So it may not happen. It didn't happen well, it kind of did happen in a day, but it may not resolve itself in a day. What I can't let it do is get compounded, right? And we do have the tools, and we do have the skill set to be able to dig it out. And it may take me a few more days. It may take me into next week to get it rebalanced. And that's what happens. So you need to be able to have that confidence to do it, because your account values will not go from peak to peak to peak to peak to peak. Never ever have a down day or a down week, right? And I tried to stretch, tried to we were in sound place. Yesterday's that move yesterday, at those lows yesterday, this account was balanced at 35. That bugger came all the way back, and we were in, not making excuses, but we were in Q school. Susan told me, and I could see it. I think I was with Daniel, and since Donnie, it's coming, she's coming back, and I chose to take it, and then I also chose, rather than to break even with it, I still felt comfortable that we'd come back, and they squeezed us further. So I am where I am. Now we're within margin levels, but I don't like this type of a draw. When you are trading margins though, or trading futures with margin, we can restore it, but it's not something that you want to experience every day, and it's certainly not something you want to experience every week. But you will experience it, and I'm experiencing it right now. Thank you very much. So, and it calls for some focus as well. So I'm not going to be chatting. I need to pay attention. We're going to give you this view up until about I'm going to say about 2:30, and then I need to turn down. We're going to stay. We're hopefully going to stay. I want to stay pat with this, and at least go into the evening hours if they don't exact any more pain. I'm interpreting this. Is what I've even said to Susie, because she'll occasionally, what's going on. I have the markets at 80 and I have the VIX at 40. So I have, in my view, I have divergence. I think the markets are ahead of themselves. So if we just get a pullback, if I get a pullback, to here, to the mean at 1890, we're going to be profitable for the week, right? So it's possible, but I don't like it. All right, so it just is the way it is. Also, I just want to share with everybody, and we never know on YouTube. We have been using Zoom for years, and we were using Zoom before Zoom was Zoom. I can remember the first time a member told me, "Don, have you ever heard of Zoom?" I'm like, "No, what is it?" Had no idea. They're fine, but we don't feel as though they've kept up, and so that's what we've been doing. So we're in the process of phasing them out, and we're going to go to hopefully a new platform, and it's happening now. It's happening fast because we think we know where we want to go, and we're going to be using. We won't be using Zoom. We'll be using this platform. I'm not going to give them a free commercial, but and then we're also planning for our at least our annual members in the beginning, because our annual members have always had access to our a live Zoom all day, every day, all week. We're going to we're going still going to do that. We're just not going to use Zoom. How we deliver it though is we're going to embed it. We have a members. This is the plan, anyways. We're going to find out this weekend. We think we're good. We have a members website, and we're going to embed the view on the members website, so they don't have to go to YouTube, don't have to patch in anything special, whether they're at their desktop or on a cell phone. It'll be there. Now, we also have plans before the year is out to revisit a whole host of things, including the website and everything else. But these are little building blocks. Now, we've been doing this a long time, and we don't make a lot of changes, but we do make changes, and we do try to stay in step with the technology and in the offerings, which is really incredible. So and sometimes we don't know exactly where it's all leading, right? You have to just kind of keep going. You keep moving forward. And so we're always open for ideas and suggestions, and we have some ideas. One of the things that I'd like to be able to do is, especially for members, is to be able to, periodically change the view, to different things, and including options in particular. So in any case, that's kind of where we are. Zoom is kind of phasing out. This one's phasing in. Bear with us if you're an annual member, because we thought we would be there the last few days. The Zoom hasn't been up 24/7. It will be. That's the plan, and we even got other plans as well. So we'll see how we go. In the meantime, we'll give you this view, and we'll see if Bagger can get his chestnuts out of the fire. All right, so we're reduced. Now, when we do this sort of thing, sometimes I can go either way. I can slow everything down and just take on a more of a position trade but I just got to make sure that I don't let it compound too far, right? Too far. So in any case, we'll see where we be. We're going to put this back to a 5-minute, and what's heartbreaking, and it's usually the case, but you have to learn this for yourselves too. Had I stayed put with the strategy, would be profitable. I didn't. I got a little ahead of myself because I wanted on the measuring on the S&P, the ES, if you recall. Let's go back over here and take a look at this, right? We're going to slide over here. This was in the back of my head. Let me go show you. It's up here, remember? And so let's we even did this here the other day, and she's continued on. Let me bring this in. All right, so this is, do we see 5,700? I can't pinch this down from here. Well, there's a significant resistance level at 5,700. And I was watching it here, and I think I even verbalized. I'm like, I would really give my eye teeth to see this thing go to 5,700. But I didn't think that it would. I didn't think it would. And then we got this move, right? That was that move. And we got that move. We got it. And that filled. And we did say, I'll be back in a moment. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. That was Susie. So we're at 5,700. We don't have it yet, right? And she's still favoring the long side. And what's particularly painful on this is, could have, should have. I should have stopped, right? Wasn't here at that moment in time. So that's sometimes when, and when folks are in Q school, their education and their take priority over everything. And sometimes, I can suffer. It's only so many hours and so many eyeballs. So, but this is where we are. I don't feel that the risk is that much more, but I got to be cautious here because we can't have suffer something really stupid at this point. We drew this, but we didn't get the pivot back. So let's just remove that. That's outdated now. What we need to see is a return back into this level. If it does that, we clear that up. And what we were positioned for, we got sucked into. And others may have done it too. And they may have been looking at other things, thinking other things, and this is where we get, was turned out to be a bear trap, and then that's where it is, all right? So if you're over leveraged, if anyone got over leveraged in here, really over leveraged, and it could be everything is how would you say, it's just commensurate to, you can be, somebody could have, millions of dollars and be over leveraged, and then get caught in something like that, and then they're forced. They're forced buyers, right? We're not there. We're not going to let it get to that. But that is a kind of a visual view. And in the meantime, it's particularly difficult because when we take the NQ, we look at it on a 5-minute, we obviously would have done much better just to have exited out and just stayed with our knitting here. When we look at the 60-minute, here's the 60-minute. 22 hours ago, this is 22 hours ago, this is at 4 p.m. yesterday, so they piled it on. We can say what it was, we know what it was, Microsoft earnings, Facebook, doesn't matter. It had already started though, and that is that's what's been painful. And so when we experience this and then see it right in front of us, like, dang. So we do make human mistakes occasionally. We share those lessons with everyone. Mistakes in lessons that we've learned over the years. Try not to make them, at least not really big. This isn't going to break the bank or anything, but still unpleasant. So we're going to let you watch, and like I say, now we will need to, this broadcast will need to come down at 2:30 because we need the resources, and then we'll try to patch up, and then we'll keep everyone posted, particularly members, when we can get the live feed 24/7 back up more regularly, if not every day. It will be ideally every day, and on the website. So that's where we be. Have fun, everyone. We'll be nearby. Any questions, let us know. The position is 6 micros. There won't be any more on that. If anything, there might be 3 that come out. But that's where it is. So it's just a 1 micro more than a half of a mini. So it's not even a mini. Pretty amazing, isn't it? That we could be down that much using micros. So there's plenty. And we say this to everybody. The brokerage, all the brokerages have reduced margin because of the volatility. Don't begrudge that. You can still do everything that you were doing previously with less margin when there's more volatility. So don't feel it's like, oh, I don't have that margin, so I'm not going to be able to do it. No, you'll be fine. And so it's a responsible thing for them to do for themselves, for their clients, and it's also the responsible thing for you too, just to reduce down. So during times of high vol. it will go away, unfortunately. Good luck, everybody. Okay, everyone. What we're going to do is I want to. I know some folks like to watch the 1 minute, and we're not trading it down there. We're not at this moment, and we're going to go for. Oops. Okay, I'm going to add a blank row, and we're going to squeeze in the five at. Oops. At in Q. Nope. At in Q. There we go, and there's the five. Okay, so we'll bring this back. So we got ourselves in a hole this week. Got a little away from me here, um, and it's painful because we got swing machine, and so unforced error, mental error, not a good round of golf from Bagger. Um, so not gonna make excuses. I know what I did, and I'm kind of kicking myself here. So we're going to need to dig on out of here. I have 6 micros on. I have 6 micros. We've reduced the trading. I'm choosing to do it this way, and just had some demands on time. I still have demands on time, so I'm choosing to try to reduce it, but I can't let this compound too far out of here. And so hopefully we're gonna, we're pushing the levels here, not of margin, but of the damage on the account for this week. Um, we're particularly interested. I have, and maybe a little bit too soon, a little bit of a bias, on the daily that we're coming back. And so I got a little too patient and maybe little too lax on that, what turned out to be a little bit of a bear trap yesterday morning. And then it continued on with the earnings. So we'll see. We're going to let you watch, but I'll have to dig it out. When we show this too, um, we're not promising anyone an outcome. Nobody should be taking my trades. Specifically, we're just trying to show. You do need to have a. What did I just do here? Oh, I see what I did. I goofed this up. Maybe, can I move this back up? Do something like this, maybe. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why it does that. Maybe because I do it after the fact. And okay, I can live with that. So you do need to have the capacity, to be able to dig out and to take time. What we don't want to do is, over leverage, right? The worst thing in the world to be faced with having to exit trades because one over leveraged and must exit. It's hard enough. You don't want to have to be doing that. So let's put that back up. And like I say, it's painful because the 60 minute is long. The daily though, the daily in Q. Let's see if we've got into rip status here. Let me just show you. We'll come back in here. The daily is still short, folks. It's been short for 46. And so it's a rip in our view. So I still think that I can now, but it can go higher. It could get into euphoria. Um, and on a daily, we won't repeat it, but on a daily, I'll tell you what, we have a few other folks. Let me just show you what we're thinking here. We may get this, we may not. I'm a little early, and early is wrong. Late is wrong. All right, so the VIX is at 40. Let's put the ES on a daily. This is where we are. It's kind of a tough spot. Fortunately, I don't have any more leverage than I have. I mean, this is 6 micros, not a mini. Be even worse. So the VIX is at 40. The daily is at 80. It should be at 60. Or the VIX should be down in here. So they're diverging. The way I interpret that is the market is too frothy for where the VIX is. So I'm thinking, but it's not happening yet, that one of two things can happen. The VIX is going to continue to get crushed out, confirm this move, which could push the ES even higher on me. And why I'm focusing on the ES is that the ES, the S&P, pretty much moves with everything else, and it's the big dog. Nasdaq can get excited over an earnings call and do something stupid, but it usually will fall back in. So I like to look at that ES first, when we're doing this position. So I'm thinking that that the ES is ahead of itself, as is the NQ. So if we can just get a little bit of pullback, will buy me some more time and some relief here. We'll see though, because again, the market could still go into euphoria, and that we can't do. We can't take the Nasdaq into euphoria. We're still in the midst of all this earnings stuff too. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm going to put it back to a 5-minute. And we'll put this back to a 1-minute. Now, I had it in the back of my head. You may not have had it. You might be saying, well, why did they do this? Why did they do that? I was trying to finesse my way into a good trade and have a good week, but I also was trying to finesse myself into what could have been another downturn, and I think I'm a little bit early. Unfortunately, I haven't. It's not a full mini, but it is 6 micros, and we are experiencing a sizable draw on the account. So that's where we be. And we'll let you watch. At about 2:30, folks, I do need the resources on the computer. So we'll unfortunately need to turn down. But I'll try to punch you back up tonight. I will try. Also, for the folks that might be passing by, and some may be members, monthly members, annual members, I just share with you, we are transitioning away from Zoom. We've been using Zoom before Zoom was Zoom, but we're transitioning away. We're still going to have our live feed, though, for annual members. We give our annual members a 24/7, virtually, unless we're rebooting, a live feed. We even say that on the website, which it just won't be Zoom anymore. It's going to be a different streaming service. And we hope to be able to put the finishing touches on that this weekend, make the necessary commitments that we need to make to get what we need to get. And then the plan will be, we will, and hopefully as early as next week, embed that live feed into our members' web page. So you'll be able to just go to the website, as you do for the nightly video. There'll be we'll create a live page, and you'll be able to just patch into it 24/7, and you'll be able to see what it's on at that time. Now, where that grows and what that does, and other access, that only time will tell on that. But that's the plan, and I think it'll be easier. It'll be more stable and more readily accessible, and we have other thoughts. So that's where we be. So bear with us a little bit. And those that are passing by, that have questions about what we're doing and who we are and what these tools are, be sure to visit the site. You're welcome to call. If you'd like a tour, new monthly members get a 1-day hall pass. I'll connect with you early one morning, give you a tour, let you hang out the rest of the day, and give you a view. All right, so I'm going to move this away from this daily, though, and so the daily is still short, right? It's well off of its highs. So we'll I'm sorry, I'm gonna put this, yeah, on a 60 minute. All right. Any questions? You let us know.